Hi there. How are all of you, I guess? Relatively short episode tonight, I think. I recently started going back to the gym, which I had fallen off of doing for quite a while. So it's kind of like starting all over again. Sort of. I mean, there's some things that don't go away that quickly, but certainly some things that do. Trying to get back into a physical shape that isn't necessarily barrel-like, but I've got a LARP event coming up next month. I want to be able to get around without, dying, because it's August. Why do we have LARP events in August? That's just bad planning, really. Rule for, the sort of action contact boffer LARPing. And there are some who will disagree with me on this point, but don't schedule events in July and August if you can help it. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes the space isn't available. Things happen. Don't worry about it. But if you can help it, avoid it. And I'll tell you why. Because you can always put more clothes on. Cold weather events, you can always put more clothes on. There is a limit to how much you can get away with taking off. Just going to put that there. Now, that said, I'm trying to get back into a shape where I can wander around a state park without killing myself. So, going to the gym, doing the cardio, doing the strength training, all of that stuff. And it's a little depressing to realize the stuff that used to come easy to me that doesn't anymore. That's kind of annoying. But beyond that, not a lot to report. I am going to be doing a longer episode tomorrow. Probably a primer on something via Tanya's suggestion. I think that'll be fun. Although I might do a roundup of all the Kickstarters. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. But I'll be doing something. Something a little more involved. Because tomorrow I'm off. So, might as well, right? Yeah. And I recently finished watching an anime series on Hulu called Psycho-Pass. And Psycho-Pass is actually pretty enjoyable. It's a little cyberpunkish, with a healthy dose of Philip K. Dick style paranoia in it, and random societal weirdness. I liked it. I will say that it does that thing that a lot of animes do, where they go along, and then suddenly somebody sort of trots out the few classes of philosophy they took in college. They start quoting Pascal and Swift and, just a bunch of random why did they go there stuff. That said, the subject matter sort of calls for it because it's the conflict between individual liberty and the need for a secure state. And I found it fascinating to watch. And I'm going to recommend it if you've got access to Hulu Plus, I guess. I don't know if it's on the normal Hulu, but it is on Hulu Plus. Watch it. The dubs on it aren't that bad. They aren't the best English dubs I've ever heard, but they didn't detract from it for me. I might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I like, deep philosophical science fiction, so it hit that right mark for me in that regard, so. Also, you know, the guns that are awesome. Um, Base premise is that there is a central system that evaluates everybody's psychological state and their mental capacities and assigns them jobs based off of those aptitudes. And if you start to show criminal tendencies, first they try and have you counseled, and get you to somebody to help you through those problems. And if you can't get past those problems, they find other places for you. Some people end up in prison. Some people just get killed because their value to society is less. Is in fact negative. They are a drain on society. So the system decides it's time for you to go. Now, this is usually reserved for people that are honest to goodness criminals, right? You know, psycho killer types. But becomes a little more sinister as time goes on, as you would expect. So, definitely fun. The people who have a high sort of propensity for criminal behavior that don't end up in a prison or dead often end up as enforcers. Basically, the police force is run by people who are normal coefficient, normal sort of psychopaths feel to them, and they control all of the the people who are crazy, people who have criminal tendencies. So it's a neat idea. Kind of dumb in some regards, but still neat. But I think I'm going to wrap this up. Coming up on 7 minutes. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm keeping it quiet because we have a visitor in the other room and I don't want to wake them up. But I hope I will see you guys tomorrow.